it's Jen from Jen's Extraordinary Life. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my make-believe cooking show. Today we're going to make a dessert for two. So CJ loves red velvet cupcakes and it's his birthday this week, so I thought I would make him some red velvet cupcakes, but there's only two of us here right now and we don't need to be eating a dozen cupcakes or 24 cupcakes or whatever most recipes usually call for. So I found this recipe by Dessert for Two by Christina Lane, and we're going to give it a try. And it makes 4 red velvet cupcakes, which means we each get to have 2. So I'm loving that. All right, so I'm just going to go along and make it. I will put the recipe in the description, but I'm just going to make it as we go with my little recipe here. So first thing it says to do is in a cupcake tin, place 4 cupcake liners on the outside edge. Now, I don't have a cupcake tin except for a great big, the jumbo muffin one. So I'm going to use this brownie pan, which is same thing as cupcake tin, only they're square instead of round. So I'm using that. But what I'm going to show you is, it says to place them on the outside squares, and then I usually take, this may sound weird, but you know how the bottoms of your cupcake liners, when you cook something, they get kind of greasy or whatever? So I've got a fix for that. I take a little bit of white rice. I mean, I guess you could use brown rice, but whatever, I have white rice. And I just put, I don't know, a sprinkle or so in the bottom of the cup that I'm using. And then I take my cupcake liner and put it on top of that. And then that saves you from having those greasy bottoms. So that's your first tip of the day. All right, it says set that aside and then preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Let me do that. Okay, that's preheating. Then it says in a medium bowl, beat together 1/4 cup of canola oil, 1/4 cup of sugar. And 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of buttermilk. Tablespoons or teaspoons? Tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of buttermilk. An egg white, which I have already separated, and a teaspoon of red food coloring. Teaspoon, yeah. Just a little tip, if you have plastic measuring spoons, do not recommend using those with the red dye, or they will be pink forever. 1/8 teaspoon of vinegar. That's a 1/4 and an 1/8. Like, how do I even get 1/8 teaspoon out of here? There we go. Okay, 1/8 teaspoon of vinegar and 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. All right, we are going to beat that together. Okay, so I've got my hand mixer. Okay. Now, let's see. This is only making 4, so it's not going to be very much mix. In another bowl, whisk together flour, baking soda, salt, and cocoa powder. Okay, so we're going to whisk together. Flour, we need 1/3 cup plus 1 tablespoon. So there's 1/3 of a cup. Plus 1 tablespoon. Okay, I said flour, baking soda, salt, and cocoa powder. Baking soda, we need 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda. Also, I highly recommend these wide mouth containers to get all your stuff out of. I mean, these are kind of small amounts, but you know, if I was using a measuring cup or whatever, they're really nice to be able to get the stuff out of. All right, and they're airtight. All right, so got 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm using pink Himalayan because that's what I have. Oh, and cocoa powder. 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder. It's only 4 cupcakes, Jennifer. Okay, so there's 1, 2. All right, we're gonna whisk that together. And then slowly add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients while mixing. Oven's preheated, perfect timing. Let me get this good and mixed up. All right, slowly add dry ingredients to wet ingredients while mixing, then divide the batter between the 4 cupcake liners and bake for 20 to 22 minutes until a cake tester comes out clean. And then we'll make the icing. All right, it says slowly add it. So, I mean, how slow can you get? I mean, there's not that much, so it's as slow as it's getting. I'm actually going to get a spoon and get that down off the sides. I'm using a spoon as opposed to a spatula because my spatulas are rubber, and I know what happens when you use red food dye and a rubber spatula. You have a rubber spatula that's red forever. All right, that's mixed up. Now, we're going to spoon this into our 4 cupcake liners and bake it. So we're dividing this amongst the 4. We're going to make these even. Okay, I'm going to put these in the oven, and then we'll talk about the icing while this is cooking, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and I have taken them out. They were in, aren't they beautiful? They were in the oven for right at 20 minutes, and my cake tester came out perfectly clean. If you don't have a cake tester, you could use a toothpick or whatever you have. But I'm just going to set these aside and let them continue to cool. And we're going to mix up this cream cheese frosting now. This is just enough for 4 cupcakes. So don't go dipping into it, I'm just saying. So what we have here is 6 tablespoons of powdered sugar in my measuring cup. I've got 3 tablespoons of cream cheese, 2 That's not 3 tablespoons, 3 ounces of softened cream cheese. And if you can't figure out how much 3 ounces of softened cream cheese is, it's on the side of the little foil pack or whatever. 2 tablespoons of butter softened, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. This is pure vanilla. You could use vanilla extract, I'm sure. And then 1 teaspoon of buttermilk. Ooh, this is going to be very rich and very sweet and very yummy. Okay. All right. Then it says to put all of it together and mix it up. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get my spatula and make sure I get all this powdered sugar off the edge. Okay. Yep, there's a little bit stuck to the bottom. So I want to make sure I get it all mixed in good. I've never made just 4 cupcakes before. This is so perfect. This turns out good. I'm going to have to go to this Christina Lane's site and see what else she has that I can make just for me and CJ. All right, let's just... Okay, that's all mixed up. Let me just taste it. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, for easy cleanup, I got these piping bags that already have the tip on them. They're disposable. Wilton makes them. I think I grabbed them at Walmart. Possibly Amazon. Don't remember. I have a whole bunch of them. But I have my new little handy kitchen gadget bag holder thing there. And then I'm just going to scoop this in here into my piping bag. Okay, so got all the icing in the bag. These are cooled. So let's go ahead and get them iced. I'm just going to push all of this down into the tip of my piping bag. I mean, how cute is that? Okay, there's only 4 of them, so let's just go ahead and ice them all. Okay. All right, then what I like to do, so I take an extra cupcake liner and just set that inside it, and it just gives it just a hair more pizzazz. And because it's CJ's birthday, I had these little, did you see these? Little happy birthday. So I'm gonna stick those in, a couple of them. His too can have happy birthday on it. All right, they are adorable. This was super easy recipe to make, and she was right. It made right at 4 cupcakes. I'm going to go get CJ and see if I can get him to taste one of these. Okay, I went and grabbed CJ, and I'm gonna let him, he does not want to be on camera today, so happy birthday. You get a red velvet cupcake. So we want an honest
Thank you.
opinion on this recipe for 4 cupcakes. Okay.
Okay.
It's got 2 liners.
See that. I was about to taste it too.
About to taste test the liner.
Yeah. Make sure you got the link on those.
Hey, can you show in the camera like how moist or whatever it looks? Looks pretty moist in there. Okay.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. I like it.
As good as the regular red velvet cupcake recipe I use that makes a lot?
Yeah, I don't think I know the difference.
Okay. So it's worth just making 4 and then we won't have all the leftovers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You heard it.
Cool. Thank you.
He's the red velvet cupcake. What would you call that?
Eater.
Eater. Okay. All right. There you have it. Give it a try. If you just need to cook a couple, this recipe is for you. So thank you for stopping by. Let us know if you'd give this a try. I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel, to like, to comment, to share. I'd love for you to come back and see the next video. And until next time, I hope you have an extraordinary life. Bye-bye.